On the news, Nigerian Railway Corporation confirms Abuja-Kaduna train derailment, deploys security and medical teams while NSIB commences investigation. Benue State House of Assembly suspends Hyacinth Dajo days after resignation as Speaker. And Tinubu, confident of Petrobras return, signs Nigeria-Brazil agreements to boost trade and energy. Thank you for joining us on News Now. I'm Simisola Atikun. The Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) has confirmed a train derailment involving a passenger train, of course, at kilometer 49 between Kubwa Station and Asham Station. According to reports, the accident, which occurred along the Kaduna corridor around 11 a.m., left some of the train's cabins overturned, triggering panic among passengers shortly after the train departed Abuja en route Kaduna. In a statement signed on Tuesday by the Managing Director of the NRC, Kayode Okwefa, the corporation noted that emergency rescue operations, including medical personnel, had been mobilized. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau says it has commenced an investigation into the train derailment. In a statement signed by its Director, Public Affairs and Family Assistance, Bimbo Olawumi Oladeji, the NSIB's preliminary reports indicate that 6 passengers sustained injuries with no fatalities recorded. Shifting to politics, in what has been described as a strategic move, the main opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, has officially confirmed Umar Damagum as its substantive national chairman. The confirmation was one of the key resolutions reached at the 102nd NEC meeting held at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja on Monday, ahead of the National Elective Convention scheduled for November 15 and 16 in Ibadan, your state. Damagum took the oath of office administered by the party's National Legal Advisor, Kamaldeen Ajibade, following the announcement by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Olugunagba, in accordance with Article 65 of the PDP Constitution. Prior to his confirmation, Damagum served in acting capacity since March 2023 after the suspension of former national chairman Iyorchia Ayu, a decision later upheld by a court. He had also served as the PDP National Deputy Chairman, North. The PDP has also zoned the party's presidential slot to the southern part of the country and resolved further that both North and South regions should immediately microzone positions within its region for implementation.
All PDP national office positions currently in the northern region of the country remain in the northern region. B, that all PDP national office positions currently in the southern region of the country remain in the southern region. C, that the position of the national chairman haven't been retained in the northern region of the country. The presidential candidate of the party for the 2027 general election is hereby zoned to the southern region. 4, NEC also received update from the PDP Constitution Amendment Committee and directed the committee to circulate the draft constitutional amendment to various organs and chapters of the party for further input. 5, in recognition of the efforts of the National Working Committee under the leadership of Acting National Chairman Ambassador Ilia Umar Damagum in stabilizing the party, NEC hereby ratifies and confirms the appointment of Ambassador Ilia Umar Damagum as the substantive national chairman of the party with effect from today, 25th August 2025, until the National Convention on the 15th and 16th of November 2025 at Ibadan, Oyo State Capital.
Well, let's discuss this development with the chieftain of the PDP, Dabo Ikiabo Warmate, who joins from Abuja, the nation's capital. Mr. Warmate, thank you very much for sparing time. What's your reaction to these moves by the PDP, choosing Damagum as the national chairman and zoning its presidential slot to the south? In your opinion, how will this strategy shape the PDP's chances in the 2027 general elections?
Let me first say thank you for the privilege. And for your question, let me say that I commend the PDP, we commend the NEC for such a progressive decision, a decision that has made Nigerians believe that PDP is truly ready to take them to the promised land, a decision that has, once again made Nigerians to have confidence in PDP. Ambassador Damagu is a very distinguished party man, and he has demonstrated political sagacity and leadership acumen, and he has also been, under his leadership, very inclusive and very diplomatic, and that is why I believe the NWC, the NEC has confirmed him. Having said that, also looking at zoning the presidency to the south is in line with our constitution section 7.3c, and we also want to commend the NEC for that, because if you recall, that was what led to the interest wrangling within the PDP from 2022 to 2024, and for the PDP to realize that now and say they are not going to bypass the constitution, but rather abide by the constitution, is a very welcome development, and party faithful across the board, across the and are applauding the decision, are happy with the NEC as we speak today.
Interesting that you mentioned that has been the source of interest wrangling in the party. Now, to what extent will these decisions impact the ongoing crisis within the PDP?
Well, we don't have any crisis any longer. Our issues, we've used our internal mechanism to resolve all pending issues. Anyone that is still pending is a very minor issue. And if we can solve the most pressing issues, those minor issues will definitely be addressed. But as we speak today, PDP is not in any crisis under the leadership of the now national chairman of our great party, the PDP. We are making progress, and Nigerians are happy with us. I believe our founding fathers are happy with us wherever they are in their graves, and even the founding fathers of this great nation called Nigeria is also happy with us. Even the atmosphere of this nation is rejoicing that PDP has gotten it right.
Oh, we eagerly await the party's decisions at the National Elective Convention in November. Mr. Dabo Ikiabo, it's always a pleasure having you with us. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on the news. Let's move to Anambra, where the State House of Assembly has suspended member representing Ayamelum constituency, Bernard Udemezue, for 3 months following a post he made on social media. Based on reports, the lawmaker had revealed his allowances as a lawmaker in a WhatsApp group mostly populated by his constituents. He also disclosed that he receives 10 million naira quarterly from the state government for projects in his constituency. During plenary on Tuesday, the House Committee on Rules, Business, Ethics and Privileges, chaired by the Majority Leader, Ikenna Ofodeme, described Udemezue's conduct as unparliamentary and recommended his suspension for 3 months without salary. In Benue State, the House of Assembly has suspended its former Speaker, Hyacinth Dajo, for 3 months, barely 2 days after he resigned from office. Dajo, who stepped down citing good faith and the interest of the state, was suspended on Tuesday during plenary over allegations that he attempted to impeach Governor Hyacinth Thalia. The suspension followed a motion moved by a member representing Kian State constituency, Tana Shimawa, and seconded by James Umoru from Apa State constituency. The new Speaker of the House, Alfred Abaga, who presided over the session, ruled on the motion and reviewed the suspension period from 6 months to 3 months. Nigeria is taking center stage in regional security by hosting the very first African Chiefs of Defense Staff Summit in Abuja, marking a major step towards stronger security partnerships across the continent. This critical 3-day gathering convenes top military commanders and defense experts from across Africa to address pressing challenges under the theme Combating Contemporary Threats to Regional Peace and Security in Africa, the Role of Strategic Defense Collaboration. Our correspondent Emeka Amako files this report from Abuja. The inaugural 2025 African Chiefs of Defense Staff Summit convenes defense ministers, security experts, and chiefs of defense staff from across the African continent. This seminal gathering offers a vital opportunity for member states to unite their resources and expertise, forging a collective front that not only confronts existing security threats, but also strategically shapes a secure and prosperous future for Africa. Welcoming the participants, Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa highlights the urgent need to confront the complex security challenges affecting multiple regions across Africa, including terrorism, armed conflict, and transnational crime.
The choice of the theme of this summit, Combating Contemporary Threats to Regional Peace and Security in Africa, the role of defense collaboration, is both timely and pertinent. It captures the urgent need for a united action in addressing the complex and evolving security challenges confronting our continent. Consequently, this gathering offers us a rare opportunity to forge a unified front. It is a platform to harmonize our doctrines, strengthen interoperability, and build enduring trust among our defense institutions. We must therefore seize this opportunity to craft a new architecture of African-led security cooperation.
Musa also emphasizes the importance of leveraging artificial intelligence to address evolving security threats, stressing the need for digital solutions to counter the invisible enemies threatening Africa's territorial integrity.
The threats of today are no longer confined to conventional warfare. They are digital, asymmetric, and often invisible. The enemy is within. As Chiefs of Defense Staff and heads of our armed forces, we must lead the charge in modernizing our forces, investing in cyber defense, artificial intelligence, and indigenous military technology, without which it will be difficult for us to achieve our security. The challenges before us are great, but so too is our resolve.
Africa must not just keep up with global trends, we must take the lead in shaping them. Let this summit serve as a platform for defense industrial collaboration, joint training, and strategic planning. Let us build defense institutions that are agile, accountable, and ready for challenge ahead.
In his message to the summit, President Bola Tinubu, represented by his Vice President Kashim Shettima, urged all African countries to engage in dialogue on shared defense and security mechanisms to strengthen defense capabilities across the continent.
Security is the foundation upon which the edifice of progress must stand. That is why we must use this summit not merely as a meeting, but as a covenant to deepen cooperation through joint training, harmonized doctrines, and interoperable systems. For this to endure, we must build a framework where our defense institutions speak with one voice and act with one purpose.
With escalating threats to peace and stability, countries are increasingly recognizing the urgent need for collaboration to develop a comprehensive security approach, especially as more than 1,000 insurgent groups are believed to be operating within the region.
The world fell short by $4 trillion each year for just basic development needs. $4 trillion missing for school, for jobs, for clinics. That imbalance raises a clear question. What kind of spending truly delivers the peace you are willing to fight to protect? This is at the heart of the African Union's call to silence the guns, because silencing the guns is not just about weapons laid down. It is about investing in people, tackling root causes, and creating societies where stability is built on justice, opportunity, and trust.
There must be synergy in military cooperation, promotion of common training, promotion of common doctrinal concept, sharing of intelligence, the interoperability of armaments, but also capacity building, particularly in airlifting, all of which are essential for operationalization of the African standby force.
By the conclusion of this summit, Africa aims to design, take ownership of,
and establish a security architecture that safeguards its sovereignty and ensures comprehensive human security in all its dimensions.
A quick break is next. When the news returns, Iran vows reciprocal action after Australia expels envoy. We'll be back with details shortly.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the GoTo app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Thank you for joining News Now again. Let's take you through our main stories. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has confirmed a train derailment involving a passenger train at kilometer 49 between Kubwa Station and Asham Station. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau says it has commenced an investigation into the train derailment. In a statement signed by its Director of Public Affairs and Family Assistance, Bimbo Oladeji, the NSIB's preliminary report indicates that 6 passengers sustained injuries with no fatalities recorded. We also told you that the Benue State House of Assembly has suspended its former Speaker, Hyacinth Dajo, for 3 months, barely 2 days after he resigned from office. Dajo, who stepped down, citing good faith and the interest of the state, was suspended on Tuesday during plenary over allegations that he attempted to impeach Governor Hyacinth earlier. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limet World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on X, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store on Facebook or at TV360 online. Let's switch gears to business. Victoria Akonde has the latest. Over to you, Victoria.
Thank you very much, Simi. Welcome to Business News Now. President Bola Tinubu has welcomed the imminent return of Petrobras to Nigeria, heralding a renewed chapter in bilateral energy cooperation 5 years after the Brazilian state-owned oil company suspended its joint venture operations. As part of his state visit to Brazil, both countries also signed 5 memoranda of understanding designed to strengthen collaboration across key sectors, including trade, diplomacy, science and technology, aviation and finance. TV360's Joy Uchejim completes this report.
President Tinubu received a full military welcome on Monday at the Planalto Palace in Brasilia in what has been described as the renewal of the historic relationship between Nigeria and Brazil. Both countries signed 5 memoranda of understanding aimed at strengthening cooperation in trade, diplomacy, science, aviation, and finance. Speaking at a joint press conference, President Tinubu highlights the significance of the agreement, noting that the return of Petrobras would reignite economic collaboration in the energy sector between both nations.
We have the largest deposit of gas. I don't see why Petrobras will not be back in Nigeria as soon as possible. And I appreciate Luis promising that will be done as soon as possible. It's necessary to emphasize here that the reform that I've embarked upon since I took over in Nigeria has been very impactful.
The president assured investors that Nigeria's economic reforms are yielding positive results, emphasizing the need for increased investment and knowledge exchange in healthcare and pharmaceuticals.
Manufacturing of generic drugs, which Brazil has gone very, very deep and far off, cannot be helped in Nigeria. I don't see why the technological superiority of Brazil is not shared with the Africa. We assured each other that it is only us that can really develop our economies to help our sovereignty.
President Tinubu praised President Lula's commitment to revitalizing the partnership, highlighting Nigeria's largely untapped economic potential for Brazilian companies.
We as a nation, an African nation, the most populous country, the most dynamic country, Nigeria, to share with Brazil what we need to share among each other. Technology transfer, economic renaissance that will be beneficial to the two countries. Let Brazil continue to widen the opportunity for us to embrace Africa.
Following a 2-hour extended meeting, Nigeria also signed a landmark bilateral air services agreement with Brazil, signaling the establishment of direct air links between Nigeria and South America's largest economy. In addition, both foreign ministers signed an MOU on political consultations to address bilateral, regional, and international issues of common interest. Joy Uchejem, TV360, Lagos.
Right now, we'll go on a short break and be back with stock market updates. Welcome back. It's the second trading day of the week and the Nigerian equities market continued its upward momentum by ending in the positive territory, increasing by 0.23%. The market capitalization now stands at 89.7 trillion naira. In total, 128 equities traded on the NGX with 27 gainers and 33 losers. NCR Nigeria led the gainers with a 10% share price appreciation, closing at 11 naira 55 kobo per share, and was followed closely by Sky Shelter Fund. Now, at the end of today's trading session, Over 604 million shares were exchanged in 28,819 deals, corresponding to a market value exceeding 12 billion naira. Now, when this is compared with the previous NGX trading day, which is Monday, August 25, today's data shows a 3% improvement in volume, 15% improvement in turnover, but a 13% decline in deals. Now, switching to the global front, Wall Street's main indexes were flat on Tuesday, constrained by a rise in Treasury bond yields as President Donald Trump's decision to fire a central bank governor deepened concerns about the Federal Reserve's independence. Now, all our selected indices, as you can see on the chart, ended in the negative territory. Now, switching on to the foreign exchange market, the Naira traded at 1,547 Naira to the US dollar and at 2,105 Naira to the pound and at 1,792 Naira to the euro on the black market. That's it on both business and stock market updates. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Victoria, for that update. United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order punishing those who burn the country's flag with 1 year in jail, despite a long-standing court ruling that flag burning is protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. The order, signed on Monday, acknowledges the 1989 Supreme Court decision, which found that flag burning is protected as free speech, but argued that it is likely to incite imminent lawless action. The move has been condemned by free speech groups who say the order violates key civil liberties as Trump pursues a vision of executive power with few constraints. And Iran has promised reciprocal action following Australia's decision to expel its ambassador in Canberra over accusations that Tehran was behind anti-Jewish attacks in the country. On Tuesday, Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Ismail Baghei absolutely rejected Australia's accusations, saying, in quote, "Any inappropriate and unjustified action on a diplomatic level will have a reciprocal reaction." Baghei also said the measures appeared to be influenced by internal developments in Australia, including weekend protests across the country against Israel's war on Gaza, which organizers describe as the largest pro-Palestine demonstrations in Australia's history. And on sports, Super Eagles head coach Eric Chell says he's confident Nigeria can still revive their 2026 World Cup qualifying hopes. Chell insists his team will surprise a lot of people in the matches ahead. Nigeria currently sits fourth in Group C with 7 points from 6 matches, 6 adrift of leaders South Africa, who have 13 points. Rwanda and Benin Republic are 1 point ahead of the Super Eagles, while Lesotho sits at bottom. Chell, who took charge midway through the campaign, has overseen 2 fixtures so far, securing a 2-0 victory against Rwanda in Kigali before being held to a 1-1 draw by Zimbabwe in Uyo. And following the conclusion of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket tournament held in Angola, Nigeria's senior men's team, the Tigers, have finished in a commendable 5th position on the final standings after the 13-day event. The tournament, which ran from August 12 to 24 in the southern African nation, saw the host defeat Mali 70-43 in the final to win a 12th continental title. The victory also saw Angola become the most successful nation in FIBA AfroBasket history as they finished their campaign as the only team to go through the entire tournament unbeaten. That's our News Now bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.